Mahmoud must go.
Welcome you, my great and wonderful subscriber. It's getting more hotter and hotter in the political zone as Labour Party candidate of just concluded presidential election in person of Peter Obi has come out to drop a big bombshell concerning just concluded summit in United Arab Emirates. Following the entourage and the amount spent to convey Asiwaju Bola Ahmed TINUBU to United Arab Emirates, which could have reduced to minimal amount considering the state of the country. My people, President Bola Ahmed TINUBU isn't taking care of the affair of the country as his supporters before the election as expected. My people, make sure you share this video. Share it to different social media platforms. If you cannot share it, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend it for us. A lot will be reviewed in this video. Peter Obi has revealed a lot to Nigerians. Nigerians are getting more ideas about the ruling of power through so much that has been revealed so far by Peter Obi. Stay connected. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Labour TV show.
The whole of crime scene
is happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happiness in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Welcome to Lajupok TV show, where we bring you political gist, celebrity and religious gossip. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, do well to click the red subscription button and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you whenever we upload another trending gist. Peter Obi so much attack Asiwaju Bola Ahmed TINUBU in the early hours of today for sponsoring 1,411 delegates to Conference of the Parties COP28 as waste of resources. Funds that are not being generated or taken from Asiwaju Bola Ahmed TINUBU private purse but out of the countries are being spent on 1,411, which is very unnecessary. This has taken a very big reaction from Peter Obi, and which made him to post his reaction today on Twitter following the mess Asiwaju has put himself. President Bola Ahmed TINUBU has come to dictate to the masses because he does his thing in such a way he believes no one can challenge him. Obviously, who is here to challenge him? Or he already bought the three arms of government and they are all acting accordingly. With this, it shows that he is there to dictate, and this is actually playing out on all other states that has just concluded their election. Mahmoud Yakubu is actually acting according to what he has been told to do. Imagine with all the allegations against the rigging in all states, the judiciary hasn't summoned any of the INEC personnel as to what played out in each polling unit during the election as the election was rigged. These are the things that's resulting from the dictatorship of President Bola Ahmed TINUBU that Peter Obi is so worried about and calling out to Nigerians. So we could see, and these are the things he said concerning the summit that he tweeted. He said in a twist of satire, congratulates the giant of Africa, Nigeria, for matching the great China with the same number of contingents at the ongoing COP28 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Nigeria's contingent to COP28 totaled 1,411, the same number as the Chinese, migrating the highest number of its citizens out of poverty over a relatively short time. As we have kept emphasizing, we must stop waste as a tradition of our government and nation. We urgently need to cut the cost of governance and invest in production. We need to de-emphasize unnecessary ceremony and showmanship as a model of government behavior. We need to tie spending to necessity and national priority. A new Nigeria is possible. We only need to do the reasonable and the necessary. Every Nigerian has the potential to contribute to national building, and we will leave nobody behind in our journey to new Nigeria. These are the things that were said by Peter Obi concerning the summit that President Bola Ahmed TINUBU went for, taking 1,411 delegates. If we really want new Nigeria, I think it's high time we start to speak with one voice, because if we continue like this, these are greedy politicians will continue to take us for a ride. Listen to what Dino has to say in this video, and you will see more reasons why we Nigerians need to rise up. We will be right back.
Last year, November 2022, that was when the last time that the voters register was updated. And I got a certified true copy of the February result of the Presidential and National Assembly elections in Kogi State from INEC. And I also got a certified true copy of the November 11 governorship election that I participated in a few weeks ago. And by the time I looked, I carried out comparative analysis of both. I discovered that, for example, in Okene local government, that registered voters during the presidential election was 140,000 plus. But on the face of the certified true copy that I got from INEC in the November 11 election, it rose to 151 when there was no voters register. There was no voters registration. Voters registration ended November 2022. And February this year, on the face of the certified true copy of the results of the presidential election, voter registration in Okene local government was 140,000 plus.
But I'm wondering why you don't go to court and argue this out.
Because it will make no sense going to court. I will be myopic, porous, and intellectually stagnant to go to court. Because the court today in Nigeria is the bane of our development, is the bane of our democracy. What we see in courts today show that for democracy that is supposed to be, the courts that is supposed to be the last hope of the masses, as actually now the last tormentor of the common man. I have examples. For example, what happened in Kano? Why would I go to court when the judgment read in court is different from the certified true copy of what was given? And shamelessly, stupidly, the appeal court came out and said that is clerical error. They said it's clerical error. I don't know if the definition of clerical error changed, because the 3 paragraphs that became contentious, there were no spelling errors. So what is the meaning of clerical errors? Because there were no typing errors, there were no spelling errors. So you now also begin to ask yourself, Labour Party just came out 2 days ago to say that they have no judgment. And Supreme Court is telling them that no, your judgment is in Atiku's own. So, and Labour Party cried out. And we all in this country, we knew that Labour Party went as a party. PDP went as a party. And there was never a time during the case that these 2 cases were consolidated. I'm a graduate of law. And the primary thing in law is that when you raise questions for determination in your case, it becomes mandatory, it becomes paramount, it becomes compulsory, it becomes obligatory for the court to answer those questions. But in this case, you are telling them that the questions have not been answered. For example, Labour, one of the questions or one of the issues that was raised in their submission is that how did the photograph of a woman appear on the server of INEC instead of result sheets? That question was never answered, and the Supreme Court know that they cannot answer that question without creating what we call in law precedents, negative precedents. So they refuse to answer it. So why will Melaye Daniel Dino or any responsible Nigerian go to court with the kind of courts we have? Look at the gradual usurpation of the states won by PDP by the courts, where the majority have decided on the field. 7 people, 5 people in the case of Court of Appeal will sit down and upturn the popular mandate of the people. See what is happening in Plateau. See what is happening in Kaduna. See what is happening in Nasarawa. See what happened in Kano. With this type of cash and carry judicial practice, why would anybody go to court? Because the courts have become a parastatal of the APC.
So they
boastfully on television during their campaigns boast about it.
Yeah, so you've lost confidence in the Electoral Commission and you've lost confidence in the judiciary.
Yeah, they are conjoined twins. The 2 of them are conjoined twins at their departments.
And what you're suggesting, what you're advocating, is collective boycott of elections in this country by the opposition. Yes. What has been the reaction from the opposition parties to that call of yours?
I have not only pronounced that, I've not only suggested that, I've not only advised that, I am taking it to the next level. We have a meeting on Tuesday, and from there we will prove to both
who's we?
We will prove, we, concerned Nigerians who want a new Nigeria, who want a country where there will be justice, egalitarianism, where there will be fairness, where there will be equity.
Is it the opposition parties that you're
Among the opposition parties, of course.
Okay.
Among the opposition parties, of course. And the only way to cure this mess is for the dissolution of INEC. Today, as I speak to you, non-card-carrying members of INEC have been appointed as commissioners in INEC. That will not happen in any civilized
no
time.
card-carrying members of a political party.
They are of APC.
Right, okay.
They are non-card-carrying members of APC, and they have been appointed as commissioners.
Right.
And these are the people that will recruit ad hoc staff during elections, who will now carry out ad hoc INEC activities at the pool. Then automatically the thing will only get worse. INEC have become SIEC, State Independent Electoral Commissioners, where governors appoint their aides, appoint their party members, and write results before even elections are conducted. So INEC is now synonymous to SIEC. And what is happening in SIEC across the states is exactly what today is happening in INEC.
Right.
And we cannot keep quiet and allow Mahmoud Yakubu to destroy, although he has even destroyed our democracy. People have lost complete hope in INEC and in the judiciary. So the only solution is for the dissolution of INEC, or Mahmoud Yakubu allow God to touch him by voluntarily resigning, because he has wreaked havoc in the fiber, the vein of democracy in Nigeria.
Do you think your call will be taken seriously by members of the opposition? Because if they didn't embark on a boycott after the presidential election, where a lot of noise was made, and after the series of challenges to the outcome, I mean, why should they do it now?
Because what we saw in Kogi is completely legendary. It's never happened anywhere in the world. The system of rigging during the presidential election was not acceptable, but was not a wow. But what happened in Kogi? I said before accreditation, results were already on the streets. INEC, myopically, after I cried out in the morning, I did a broadcast, made a press statement to say they are investigating 5 local governments. They are investigating the incidences of 5 local governments: Okene, Okehi, Adavi, Ajakuta, understand? And Ogorimagongo. While we were waiting for the results of their investigations, you know what happened? They announced results in those local governments. INEC. But the crux of the matter is this: Nigeria is a signatory to a lot of bilateral agreements. Nigeria is a signatory to a lot of international conventions with UN, with OAU, with ECOWAS, where the inalienable rights of Nigerians have been protected. And Nigeria signed that we are signatory to these treaties. But the entire Ogorimagongo local government, they were disenfranchised from participating in their civic responsibility of voting for a governor of their choice. INEC, nobody voted in that local government. But results were announced. INEC itself said they rescheduled the election. INEC again refused to conduct any rerun election in that local government and went ahead to declare the governor. But their fundamental right to choice making, their inalienable right as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chapter 4 of our Constitution, and other documents like the Human Rights Treaty we signed, and that of the United Nations, all have been abused because these people's rights are completely, they've been disenfranchised.
So in effect, I mean, you're going from being a politician, which is essentially what you've been, competing for elective office, to now becoming a campaigning activist. I mean, how hard are you?
I've always been an activist. I was an activist. I'm an activist. I will remain an activist.
Right,
even before I delve into politics.
But how hard are you willing to campaign? Because to achieve what you're calling for, you're going to have to work really hard.
We are going to work hard. We have no other country to call our own but this country. We will not allow Mahmoud Yakubu and this commercial interest in the judiciary, people who have commercialized their consciences, will not allow people who have decided for selfish and personal interests to ridicule Nigeria as a nation, to carry on. No, we will not.
Well,
because in an unjust society, silence is a crime.
The issue of INEC is fairly straightforward. You're calling for the resignation of the chairman. How are you going to deal with the issue that you're alleging about the judiciary?
It's everywhere, my brother. What happened in Kano, is it not there? Where you have a verbal judgment and you have a written judgment, and there's disparity between the two. Is that not enough to give any sane, reasonable character the decision to say I have no trust in these people? Today in this country, we have people who are in the Senate who never ran elections, and they were certified by courts as senators. Meanwhile, they never participated in any primaries. We're in this country where somebody who came fourth became first.
No, what I'm
ratified by the courts.
I understand that.
No, I'm giving you the indices, the yardstick, the criteria.
But what I'm trying to understand is what you are asking of the courts. In other words, it's clear what you're asking of INEC. What are you asking of the courts?
What I am asking of the courts is simple. I'm not asking of the court, I'm asking of Nigerians.
Right.
To take on the judiciary. We must have a judiciary that will be transparent. We should no longer shy away from saying this is a temple of this, judges are sacred. We can no. Judges have walked into the gutters. Judges have dropped their hands in the murky waters of politics. Judges have already shown affinity, have shown support for a particular political party. In a very civilized environment, that should not be acceptable. That should not. Just today, a member of the House of Reps in the United States of America faced the Ethics and Privileges Committee. And members of his party voted for him to be expelled.
Yes, that's the sixth time in the history
voted for him to be expelled from the House of Representatives.
Right.
That is the type of society we want to build, where it is not about self. My brother, if I lose or lost election in a transparent manner, I will congratulate the winner. I will carry my blueprint and give to the winner and say, let us work together. If the process is transparent. Because after all, it's only for those who take politics and democracy to be a job. But it is supposed to be your contribution to national development.
The vocation.
It's supposed to be a temporary vocation for how you can help.
But it is a potentially politically risky move for you then, because obviously Nigeria is not the United States. I mean, if no one responds to your call,
I will still continue to speak, not
I mean, you may
all die and I die, my brother.
What I'm saying is that if the people don't respond and the
people are responding.
No, hold on, let me just make the point. The other political parties don't respond. I mean, you may start to seem less relevant in the public mind. So, I mean, you may well end up, I mean, at the moment, what you're suggesting, you may end up walking a political tightrope.
That is not correct, because as I speak, I know the number of calls I've gotten. What I'm calling for is noble, is honorable. I know it comes with a lot of risk, but my brother, just like I said, all die and I die. I am not afraid of incarcerations. In 2019, I spent 172 days out of 365 days in police detention. In 2018, I spent 197 days out of 365 days in police detention. And I've been incarcerated as far back as 1993.
Well, nobody's asking for you to be incarcerated.
I'm just saying. So I am not afraid of what this will cost me. But every one of us must, out of relative obscurity, speak the truth to power. We cannot continue like this to allow the judiciary and INEC to continue to destroy our democracy. It is not about me. It is not about what I feel.
But what about those who say that it is better for the opposition to work from the inside? Because once you start the boycott, you'll be on the outside and you'll no longer be able to concentrate minds in what is actually happening with elections, because you're no longer taking part in them.
My brother, if they regard you as an alcoholic, taking more alcohol will not cure your alcoholism. The best is for us to sanitize the process. How do we sanitize the process? These eggs who are bad, these eggs like Mahmoud Yakubu, who have shown clearly that they are not capable of doing good, who have shown clearly that his reason for coming as INEC national chairman is to destroy democracy, is to show partisanship, should not be allowed to operate. And that is why every good thinking Nigerian must embrace my suggestion of boycotting elections. How will it look if Mahmoud Yakubu is to conduct the next run of elections in this country? How many people will have confidence to even go out and vote? How many candidates will want to? My brother, spent 3 months, brought in 12 professors, 6 captains of industries, brought a lot intellectuals and gave them 3 months to build me a blueprint. They did a blueprint and gave it to me. And I adopted it. I read it. I went to every nook and cranny of Kogi State to campaign. APC only had 3 rallies. Meanwhile, I was going from one village to another, from one mosque to another, from one church to another, evangelizing and speaking my policy document. Then on election day, somebody just sit down somewhere and write results. The whole efforts of having an ideal election, ideal democratic process completely eroded. Don't you think people become disenchanted, disillusioned?
Well, you certainly sound disenchanted.
Yes, but that is why we must not keep quiet.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm calling on all other political parties. If Mahmoud Yakubu will not resign, if the INEC will not be dissolved, for credible people to come in, for Nigerians to now have confidence in the electoral process, then this government is carrying a very big bag of illegitimacy behind them.
So what is the process that you will now follow to achieve what you're trying to achieve?
When we get to that bridge, we will cross it. But if we give a short time and Mahmoud Yakubu is not resigning, we will prove to him that power truly belongs to the people. Because democracy is about the people. Government is not owned by those in government. Government is owned by the people. And through every legitimate means, through every civil means, we will hold Mahmoud Yakubu accountable. And we will make sure that this country is not very, very comfortable for him to operate.
And presumably the logic behind what you're saying is the idea that when one person comes forward to talk about their disastrous electoral experience, which is you, it could be dismissed because it's one person. But when a collective group of opposition parties comes forward, it has more impact.
That is the first thing
and would help to turn the lens on that issue.
I agree with you, absolutely, and that's what I've done. What I've done now, I'm raising this suggestion to the consciousness of political parties. The next thing is to start galvanizing political parties and say, okay, let us even talk about this issue. The third is to create a mobilization against Mahmoud Yakubu, M-A-M-A-U-D, Yakubu, Y-A-U-B-U. Go! We don't want you. You have destroyed democracy in Nigeria.
But it's interesting that your presidential candidate and the Labour Party, I mean, they're not saying these things that you're saying.
I am Dino melaye. I don't think for them, they don't think for me. With due respect, Atiku Abubakar is a father, is a grandfather. A father is a grandfather. Others may look at it from different perspectives. But I am looking at it that every Nigerian must decide either to walk in the light of creative altruism or we perish in the darkness of destructive selfishness. And I don't want to perish in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Even if I'm the only one, my brother, I will go to INEC and march and occupy INEC and sit down in that place.
Well, you said if it's only you, because the opposition itself, I mean, let's face it, it's pretty splintered. It's not a homogeneous sort of group. I mean, and it remains to be seen whether something as radical as an election boycott will bring them together.
We will get there. Like Atiku Abubakar already called for a merger of political parties against this demonic party called the APC. So I am now saying let's boycott. So the issues are ruminating, and all we now need to do is to sit down, put it in perspective, organize ourselves as opposition parties, organize ourselves as political parties in this country, and say, the question is, can we continue like this? If the answer is no, what can we do about it? And what we can do about it is through collaborative efforts of other political parties. And that is where we are driving towards. And I am going to be the driver of that process. I must make sure that I move from one political party headquarters to the other to discuss with the people, to conscientize them, to educate them on the need for us to rescue Nigeria from judiciary and from Mahmoud Yakubu. We need to take our country back, because as it is now, my brother, there was a country. A country is a country when all the tenets of democracy, all the doctrines of democracy are respected.
Right.
But there is nothing in this country that is working today. And the only cure to it is good governance. And you cannot have a good governance from a terrible, corrupt electoral process. And it is obvious from what we have. What happened in Kogi is not an election.
Right.
It's allocation of votes.
Well,
how can you in February, for example, from Okene local government, the total vote cast in Okene local government in the presidential election in February is 33,000. From that same local government now, we have produced about 150,000.
Right.
Does that make any sense?
Well, I think you've made that point, and you're a very forceful speaker, and it's interesting listening to you, and we will keep up with you to see how that campaign is going. But let me also say that Arise is very objective.
I agree with
you. So if the INEC or the APC want a right of reply, they have it.
Yeah, but Arise staff, presenters like you are also Nigerians who go to the same market, who knows what is your correspondents, your reporters were in Kogi, they knew what happened.
Right.
So you must also play your part in rescuing
that's,
this country.
That's why we're giving you the opportunity.
In making sure that more people come to talk from other political parties.
That's why you're
getting the views of other political parties on this perspective is very important.
But we also have a responsibility to balance the story. I mean,
everybody has
a right of reply.
Each and every person in Nigeria presently actually believes that President Bola Ahmed TINUBU, ever since he has gotten there as the president of the country, wants to take everybody for a ride, because with his dictatorship, it's actually playing out in every state. So you can see what Dino melaye said in this video. He is actually calling other party members that in every other election that is coming, the forthcoming election that will be coming in any states, that they should boycott it. And the reason for him to have said this is just because he believes that if they should contest for the election, at the end of the day, when they take the issue back to the judiciary, when they actually notice some rigging in the election, it will be given back to the APC. Since the President Bola Ahmed TINUBU has actually instigated both the judiciary and the INEC, people do not have confidence in the judgment being passed by the judiciary. You can see for yourself, everything that has played out in the judiciary and the INEC shows a dictatorship, which has gotten to the point that even the Labour Party members that are in the House of Assembly, that we people actually thought that they will be fighting for the right of the people, you know, opposing some of the things that they are saying in the House, are already even singing the song of allegiance to President Bola Ahmed TINUBU. You will actually see that had it been the Labour Party members in the House of Rep did not accept it, they would have stand up, they would have had mouth to open up to shut the APC members in the House. Why would you come to the House of Assembly that has so many parties in it? It's not only APC members that are in the House of Assembly. Why will you people choose to be playing the song of allegiance instead of the national anthem? You will see where it has gotten to. We have the judiciary, the executive, and the legislative inside the building, and all of them are singing the song of allegiance. It shows that President Bola Ahmed TINUBU has already bought everybody inside the House of Assembly. My people, share your opinion at the comment section. Let us know what you feel about the present hardship that has engulfed the whole nation. Do not forget to share this video. Please share it to every social media platform. If you cannot share it, please like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget also to click the bell so that YouTube will notify you when next we drop our next video. Bye for now.